Today I will be discussing the benefits of running and how you can live a healthier lifestyle. Many people believe the simple idea that if you're active, yet you're automatically healthy. Of course, putting it this way, a lot of people will probably reconsider. The evolution of running has come a long way. Starting off with the history of running, we go back around 90 years ago. According to the book that I recently read, Seven Men, a Scotsman named Eric Liddell achieved a world record in the 400-meter dash with a time of 47.6 seconds and won the 1924 Olympic Games. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes behind this phenomenal story, but this is just one example. Referring to www.usatf.org, the world record holder is held by Michael Johnson with a time of 43.18 seconds in the 400-meter dash, which was ran in 1999. 4 seconds may not seem like a lot, but in the 400 meter, that is a significant amount of time. Next, we're transitioning into form. A lot of this dramatic time difference comes with how different athletes run. In other words, form becomes a crucial part in running, especially in short races like the 400-meter dash. The more comfortable way to run is shown here in this link.
A lot more comfortable. Starting from head to toe, when you're running, you want to keep your chin down a little bit. You almost want to feel like there's a thread at the top of your head pulling you up. You don't want your chin too down because you'll actually close off your airway a little bit. And you don't want your chin too far up because you're not really sure where all that energy's going. And you can feel the tension in your neck start to happen when you do raise your chin a little bit. So try to keep your head level a little bit. Notice where you're holding tension. Slowly, through a long run, you can start to feel your shoulders creep up a little bit. And you can feel that tension in your shoulders and your neck. So if you relax a little bit, it'll also reduce the amount of energy that you're using for your run. Now what you want to do with your arms, hold your elbows at about a 90-degree angle and hold a very small fist, almost having your fingertips just touching the palm of your hand. And just relax your hands. And throughout your run, when you start to feel tension building up, just shake your arms out.
That's just a brief video of how you can get correct running form, or comfortable running form for that matter. Just to piggyback off her a little bit, a good way to run is to be more dynamic rather than create more drag. Going back to Eric Liddell, when he won the 400-meter dash, they said that he ran with flailing arms and his head was all over the place. If he would have got a better correct running form, he probably would have ran the 400-meter faster. But that's just the way he ran and how he was comfortable. Now, lastly, in the evolution of running, we'll cover how to prevent injury. Although running with proper form doesn't always guarantee you, doesn't eliminate the chances of getting injured, but it does reduce the odds in a convincing way. Also, there are various things you can do to prevent injury, but we'll tackle that beast a little later. To get the best results from running and to drive greater results in your cardiovascular, you must stick to a healthy, nutritious plan. Everyone has different nutritional needs. A good way to find out what your body needs is to go to www.choosemyplate.gov, where it tells you how much of each food group you may need. Here's what my plate looks like. For someone that needs to take in 2,800 calories a day, I would probably need to take in 2.5 cups of fruit, 3.5 cups of vegetables, 10 ounces of grains, 7 ounces of protein, which I'm trying to take in more because it builds more muscle, and 3 cups of dairy. You may choose to use this, or you may choose not to, but I would strongly advise it since it helped me a lot. Depending on what your goal is, if you want to gain weight, your ultimate goal is to take in as many calories as you can. An example of this is our bodybuilders or people that are simply just too skinny. If you're trying to lose weight, however, the end result should be you taking fewer calories than you burn. Ensure when you're trying to lose weight, you're not starving yourselves and that you're still meeting your nutritional needs. Otherwise, it could lead up into eating disorders, in which some could lead up to unforgiving consequences. Whether you're trying to gain weight or trying to lose weight, there are there are still some certain foods that you should stay away from. What makes dieting so hard is that our bodies are so accustomed to eating a lot of sodium and sugar. Naturally, we love sodium and sugar, like we can't get enough of it. It tastes so good to us, and sometimes it makes things manageable to eat that we don't necessarily want to eat. The truth is, those are the kinds of foods that we have to start staying away from when we want to achieve something greater. Along with sodium and sugar, we should also stay away from saturated fat. Here's a good place to refer to if you, for what you should eat in order to get a greater result for your workout. And I apologize ahead of time for his accent. It might be hard to understand him.
Such as sweet potato, rice, and also, which I was eating before this, bananas, fruit. All those things are high in carbohydrates. When you have that, your body converts that into glucose to use as fuel that you'll be able to use when you work out, when you go for that run, when you go to the gym, when you swim, whatever workout you do, right? So, sex, all those things, you'll be able to use that as fuel for that workout. Okay, so what I personally do is I like to have 3 to 4 bananas before I work out, and the reason is because, especially in the morning, as my digestive system is pretty much clear, right? It's going to allow the fruit to digest very, very easily. You need to remember that the food that you eat, you're only going to be able to use that as energy, as fuel, once it's metabolized, once it's become digested. You can't have a banana.
This is also a brief video on what to eat. Obviously, for Matt, he likes to eat bananas before his workout. It's up to you what works for you. Keep doing it. But this leads up to the last element I'll talk about for becoming a better runner and improving your health style. So far, we've reviewed the evolution of running and how we got to where we are today, and what you must do nutritiously to get the best performance. Now we will discuss the benefit of stretching, what different kinds there are, and how it affects your body, and how to prevent injury of your body, as I was saying earlier in the speech. According to livestrong.com, there are 7 different types of stretching. How many knew that stretching could be so complex? I'm going to briefly summarize each type. Starting off with static stretching. In order to accomplish this, all you have to do is hold the position of the stretch for 30 seconds to a minute. If you want to hold it more, it's not going to hurt you. Next, passive stretching is like static stretching, except you're using something or someone to assist you with the stretch. For example, if you want your partner to hold your leg to stretch a muscle, that would be an example of passive stretching. Third, dynamic stretching. This is one of my favorites because I used to do it back in high school before each race. It is accomplished by stretching with movement, in other words, getting warmed up for your physical activity that you're about to do. Fourth, ballistic stretching is the more complex version of dynamic stretching and should only be used by more experienced athletes, as it could lead up to injury for beginners. Fifth, active isolated stretching is really high intensity static stretching. The best way I could put this stretch is like it's a lot similar to yoga. 6, isometric stretching is a passive static stretch with a little resistance. And bear with me for this last one because I'm having a hard time pronouncing it. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. I'm not really sure what the direct definition of this word is, but the general meaning is a stretching that involves all types of static stretching. This is the most complicated of them all. In conclusion, we've discussed the fundamentals of being an active runner and doing it right. The 3 things we covered is the evolution of running and what we're capable of doing to this day, our nutritional needs, and the stretching to prevent injury. Next time you go for a run, consider these things we went over today. Thank you.